R&R Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Checkered flag. Contact and Brian Rose wins it. A photo finish at the line. Oh, we got a wreck. Will Hewitt's through the trial for the final time, and oh, they're wrecking. Big trouble. Vincent Short sneaks through, and I think Short... Opened in 1964, Phoenix Raceway hosted IndyCar races for more than 40 consecutive years. Later added the Copper World Classic, Silver Crown, and Midget cars in 1977. From there, it was only a matter of time until the NASCAR Cup Series came in 1988. Alan Kowicki's first career win came in that race and celebrated with a now infamous Polish victory lap that many drivers still utilize today. Through its history, the 1 mile oval has always been defined by its asymmetrical turns and dogleg, which was implemented in part because of the natural terrain of the area. With different progressive banking at each end of the racetrack, Phoenix is often a favorite track of drivers for the challenges that they face in setting up their cars to maximize performance. Although its backstretch dogleg already made it one of the most unique ovals in America, the track's latest renovation, which was completed in 2018, made it even more unique. Start-finish line was moved between the former Turn 2 and the dogleg, fundamentally changing how drivers would approach each lap, while the former front stretch grandstand was removed in favor of expanding seating closer to the new start-finish line. The shift also led to a reconfiguration of pit road. This layout made its NASCAR Cup Series debut in November of 2018 and began hosting NASCAR's championship weekend with the 2020 season. Tonight, it's race number 10 of the IROC Challenge Series, and it's next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Phoenix Raceway, the IROC Challenge Series, race number 10 in town. Take a look at the race details. 86-degree ambient temperature, 16% humidity, almost none to speak of. You can light a fire with your eyes at this point. Clear skies, barely any breeze. Track temp, it's actually starting to cool down, believe it or not. 113 degrees currently. It was almost 127 earlier on in the practice session. So with that, let's go down trackside. The warm-up underway here at Phoenix Raceway. Qualifying already in the books. We'll get to our starting grid in a little bit here. But with that, let's take a moment. Let's take a look at the point standings here. The last race of the regular season. We'll go into our bracket challenge here after this. Top 16 drivers will advance on. Right now, Aaron Smith well in command over Brian McCann. Jaden Hopp third. Neil Quick, John Osborne fourth and fifth. Stan Carnathan, Mike McDonald, Jeff No, Doug Wysocki, Brendan Mefford, the top 10. Chris Wally, Garrett Johnston, Trevor Quick, Mike Cook, Adam Johnson, Rick Kelly, the top 16 presently. Johnson and Kelly tied for those positions at 10:36 apiece. Jason Nile just could fight his way back in. maybe even Larry Bruner. We'll see how that pans out. But we've got to let the race unfold, see how things go, and we'll find out here shortly who's going to move on to the Bracket Challenge starting next week. So a few drivers still on the race course right now. Best times in the session, Brian McCann a 27:20. Neil Quick second, 27:27. Aaron Smith with a 31. Hop a 38. Mefford a 50. Some close quarters racing here tonight. You got Cody Dean in the stream chat asking who's won the most USAC races at Phoenix. I don't know the answer. I'm sure somebody will. I don't think Cody would ask if he didn't know the answer. So we'll give it a minute or two here and see if anybody comes up with it in the stream chat, and then we'll have Cody just enter it, well, right in front of everybody's eyes. '22 Gen 4 Cup cars to take the green flag here tonight. Again, qualifying already in the books. The question, Lindsay, was who's won the most USAC races at Phoenix? We're not talking NASCAR, we're talking USAC. It's a very obscure question to anybody but a very seasoned race fan. I would say I'm pretty seasoned, but even I don't know the answer to that one. I'm going to guess AJ Foyt. That's just going to be my guess. As soon as the warm-up concludes, I'll ask Cody to drop it into the stream chat here with the answers. Ironically, Cody, not the first viewer to come into the stream chat with some trivia. Eddie Rose himself has been known to do that. So, warm-up in the books. Take a quick peek at the times in the warm-up session. Of course, Brian McCann was fastest. Neil Quick, Aaron Smith, Brandon Mefford, Jaden Hopp. To no one's surprise, Bill Tyndall, Mike McDonald, Mike Cook, Matt Kopp, Trevor Quick, the top 10. Some pretty quick times here within that top 10. So with that, let's take a look at our starting grid for race number 10, the IROC Challenge Series on the pole position with a lap time of 27.244 seconds. It's the 70 of Aaron Smith. Outside front row, seems to be a battle between these two guys all season long. Last week's winner at Talladega, just by inches, it's Brian McCann, 64 thousandths of a second shy, starts second. Row number 2, it's the 4 of Jaden Hopp, was strong last week as well. Brandon Mefford will start in P4. 5th goes to the 2 of Neil Quick. Jason Nilgis still in that championship hunt. He'll start 6th. Mike McDonald in the 16. He rolls from P7. Bill Tyndall in the number 62 machine. He'll start from the 8th position. Starting 9th is Doug Wysocki. 10th goes to Mike Cook in the 00. Tim Schofield in the number 12 starts 11th. Adam Johnson will start 12th. Starting 13th, Rick Kelly. Larry Bruner rolling 14th. Chris Wally in the 51 will start 15th. Trevor Quick 16th. 17th starters John Osborne, Jeff No in the 18th spot, Matt Kopp 19th, Josh Braley starts 20th, 21st goes to Cook Quick, and last but not least, especially in our hearts, it's the 81 of Joshua Funkhauser starting 22nd on the grid here today. Field starting to roll through, I guess you'd call it turns 1 and 2. This reconfiguration has got everybody screwed up, and I promise you, I will mess up where these cars are on this track a lot here tonight. As many races I've called here, I still, for whatever reason, since the reconfiguration of this place, haven't been able to get it right. But as it is, pace car down pit lane, the field working through turn 3. A long ways to go back to start-finish before we get under green flag conditions. They're going to hold it down 2 by 2. They're in the restart zone. The flag waves, and we're racing from Phoenix Raceway. First lap in the books, Aaron Smith out in front. Makes short work. He's got Brian McCann, Jaden Hopp battling for the second spot in behind. Want to go to Cody Dean in the stream chat here. He says he wasn't sure, so he had to look it up. Looks like Al Unser. But it was a quick count. No internal auditor by KPMG. Battle for the race lead. Brian McCann working to the outside of Aaron Smith. Jaden Hopp closing into the back bumper of this 70. Don't let it fool you. We know Brian McCann is quick, but Aaron Smith likely just taking care of his stuff. You can't win the race this early on. 3 laps in out of 150 to be run here at Phoenix. Jaden Hopp having some connection issues. Looking in and out periodically. That could be a problem. Brian McCann out to about a 4, now 5/10 of a second advantage over Aaron Smith. Starting to stretch it out. You just got to wonder if he's pushing too hard too early. Cody Dean with some more trivia. Kawicki sponsor for his 88 win. I'm going to go with Xerox. Not Xerox, but Xerox. Big battle for the 3rd spot. Brandon Mefford all over Jaden Hopp like a cheap suit. Gets to the inside here at start finish. Brandon Mefford still alongside Jaden Hopp for the 3rd position. Big wiggle. We go to the driver's eye camera here with Brandon Mefford in the 4th spot. Again, he was alongside Jaden Hopp for 3rd just a moment ago. Has to check up here, tucks back in behind, maybe a regroup of sorts. Still watching this battle for the 3rd spot. Mefford taking a different lane than Jaden Hopp. Cody Dean back with some more trivia, asking what steakhouse sponsored Kawicki prior to that. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm just going to guess. And I don't even know if it's right, but I'm going to go with Outback. It really is just a guess. Well, Brian McCann still out in front here. 6.5 tenths ahead of Aaron Smith. No real challenger at this point. Check some other battles through the field. Cook quick back to the 18th position. He's up 3 spots from where he started here today. Chris Wally running in the 17th position. He's down a couple from the start. Not uncommon for Chris. He'll work his way back through the field. Likes to take care of his equipment early on. Making a move to the inside on John Osborne. Almost gets into the 12 of Timmy Schofield. Has to check up considerably, but still maintains the position ahead of the 44. Neil Quick running in the 5th position, right where he started. Again, speaking of guys that are good at taking care of their stuff. This Gen 4 car, it seems like it's right in the wheelhouse of Neil Quick. You've seen him in high horsepower stock cars in the past, able to keep tires underneath it, be there at the end. We'll see if that plays out here at Phoenix as well. Brandon Boston says Chris Ruth. A little dyslexia for Brandon Boston here tonight. It's Ruth Chris, but I don't know if that's the same one. I think Cody Dean's got the Quincy's there as far as the steakhouse goes. This is, again, the old sponsor, Alan Kawicki, who got his first win here at Phoenix Raceway. Driver's already starting to lose the rear end of the race car on corner exit. Not a surprise, though. Again, these Gen 4 Cup cars with horsepower to spare. Really got to be careful on throttle as Neil Quick starting to close in here on the 83. Quick taking a look to the inside. Still watching this battle for the 4th spot. Brandon Mefford's got it for now, but Neil Quick seems to be a little bit faster. Applying the pressure, making a look to the inside, down into turn 3. No, it's turn 1. There's the first mistake of the day. Side by side. And now we'll get into turn number 3. Quick goes to the bottom. I think he'll get clear of the 83 here in the next couple of corners. Cody Dean asking what state Quick he held from. I'm going to say it's the same as Matt Kenseth. It's Wisconsin. While Neil Quick takes over the 4 spot with ease. We followed that battle live. We'll see if Quick can reel in P3 Jaden Hopp. Brandon Mefford lost the spot to Neil Quick, but he's still not losing a whole lot of ground. It remains about a car length, maybe less, off the back bumper of the 2. You got to wonder, Neil Quick got his tires a little bit too hot trying to get that pass complete as Mefford's starting to close back in. Brian McCann still out in front here above Aaron Smith, but that deficit is shrinking. It's less than a car length now, back to the 70s, the 55 of Jeff No, becoming some lap traffic. 20 laps in here in Phoenix. McCann's going to have to find a way to work his way around this car. Lindsay, if you're watching the stream, we do broadcast in 1440p, which is a significantly higher resolution than we had in the past. Maybe drop your quality down to 720 or even maybe 1080. See if that helps speed things up in the stream chat here. We are on a longer delay as far as that goes, just for the sake of the better resolution. Cody Dean with some more trivia in the stream chat. Says, who bought Alan Kawicki Racing after the 1993 tragedy? Bonus points if you know who managed the team in the interim and arranged the sale. That one I cannot answer, but I can tell you Corey LaJoie's team works out of that building still, so that's a plus. Top 3 under a blanket here, back to start finish. It's McCann, Smith, and Hopp. Neil Quick is starting to close in, but a big wiggle out of the 2 there through the dog leg. Mefford's still hot on the trail of Neil Quick, though. He is not giving up. Less than a car length. Now about a car length into the corner. We'll see if he gains on exit. front. Could be anybody's lead here at any moment in time. McCann definitely driving it in deep. She's going to allow Aaron Smith to get back to the gas a tick sooner. Does close the gap on corner exit. Now we ride on board with second place, Aaron Smith. Knocking on the door, Brian McCann. Already 27 laps in. Aaron Smith's last lap at 28.89. About a half-tenth quicker than leader Brian McCann, but nowhere to get around. Top three unchanged here, 28 laps in. It's McCann, Smith, Hop. Really top four, top five unchanged as Mefford runs fourth now and gets the spot back from Neil Quick. Only change at the front of the field here from qualifying is the leader. Brian McCann started outside front row, currently leads this race. Aaron Smith running in P2, but hot on the trail of Brian McCann. We keep watching this because Aaron's a little bit faster, and McCann gets a piece of the wall on corner entry to turn 3, slides up the racetrack. He's going to lose a couple of spots. The 3 back to P3. Aaron Smith's going to pick up the race lead here at lap 30. Don't know if McCann was looking in his mirror watching the 70 or if he just got a little too high up the racetrack. Very common issue, especially with this body style, whether it's the ARCA car or the Gen 4. If you get a piece of the outside wall in the straightaway, because that right rear is built to kind of hang out, create all that side force, it does kind of nose the right front of the car into the safer barrier when you get the right rear into it. It's kind of like a wall magnet. You can get stuck on it. It's difficult to get out. Almost seemed like McCann wasn't able to get out until they got to the corner where it does kind of jut back outward again. McCann's going to be okay here. Maybe some right front damage, a little scrapes, nothing crazy. Right side is banged up pretty good. I don't think it's going to hurt his pace too much. Just a few laps shy of the stage break, should be coming at lap 35. You get one stage break here in the IROC Challenge Series. Aaron Smith still out in front of Jaden Hop. No Kevin Winker tonight. Missing out on Winker Nation here in the stream chat. Lap 35 goes up. Aaron Smith with the race lead. Aaron Smith well in command here, almost a half second back to the 4 of Hop. Works on a turn number 4. He'll take the stage win. Caution should be coming out in just a moment. There it is.
How's it driving there, homie?
So Aaron Smith, Jaden Hop, Brian McCann, Brandon Mefford, Neil Quick, Bill Tyndall, Mike Cook, Jason Niles, Doug Wysocki, Mike McDonald, the top 10 at the stage break. Again, taking a look at the weather here at the Speedway, 86 degrees the ambient temp, track temp down to 109. It's still dropping, which is a good sign for these drivers. Just about everybody's going to peel off, hit pit lane here, lead lap cars. Aaron Smith's going to pull Jaden Hop, Brian McCann, Mefford, Quick, Tyndall, Cook, Nilgis, Wysocki, McDonald, and so on and so on. Very unique pit lane here, kind of follows the contour of the race course, which doesn't sound that strange considering most tracks kind of do the same, but it works its way through some corners. You don't typically see that in the track that's a mile in length or more. Very familiar with it in a place like Martinsville and even Richmond Raceway. Aaron Smith down and away. Fuel only, it looks like, for Aaron Smith. He's going to be out first, I believe. Does he win the race off? He does. So with that, we're going to jump out, get a quick break out of the way. We'll be back with a restart after this.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Phoenix Raceway, getting ready for the restart. Aaron Smith's going to lead him down. Jaden Hop will start to the outside. He'll have Brian McCann out the rear view. Pace car is going to pull off here. Now, mind you, pace car pulls off on a turn 2. Got this whole backstretch to work its way all the way to the restart zone. You kind of got to be careful to maintain pace car speed, keep formed up 2 by 2, not fire too early.
Green flag, green flag.
Just like that, green flag back in the air. Aaron Smith with a great jump over McCann and Hop. Hop stays up on the racetrack. McCann and Smith go shortcut down the dog leg. Hop's going to take the second spot away from the 3. Brandon Mefford in the 4th spot. And we got trouble. Jason Nilgis in the fence.
Clear. I don't know why you can't hear Earl. Can you hear me? Did not hear him call that caution. Need you to check your radio connections. Check the one on your headset, on your headboard actually, on your left-hand side, on your headrest. 1, 2, 3, loud and clear. You got a good copy? 10-4.
So Jason Nilgis puts us under our first caution for cause here today. Just on the restart after the stage. Let's take a look at it, see what happened to the 88. Just on the brakes a little sooner than the 16 of McDonald had anticipated. Sends Jason up the racetrack. Not very significant contact with the safer barrier, but enough to get us under the yellow flag once again. Just may come down here and top off. Try to get a little bit of repair made here to that right rear. There's minimal, if any. I don't see anything really wrong with it, so shouldn't be too long of a stop for the 88 to get back out into the mix. Remember, coming into tonight, Niall just kind of on the bubble there in the 17th position in points. Needs to get by Rick Kelly. Going to need some points to get it done here if he wants to transfer into the next round. Which, if I'm honest, and I'll tell you guys right now, Rick Kelly's not here tonight. So it appears that Niall just needs to finish this one out cleanly, and he can gain enough points on Rick Kelly. He can get into that transfer position in the points. Move his way into the bracket challenge next week. Bracket challenge begins next week at Nashville Super Speedway here on HBR TV, the 1 1/3 mile oval. 120 laps the race distance. Nilgis is going to rejoin here in the 16th position after being the cause for that second caution. Mike McDonald is actually in the pits. I'm assuming he may have sustained some front end damage with that impact in the back of the 88. Those of you out there watching the stream, help us out, whether it's on IROC TV or the HBR TV YouTube channel. We do multi-stream to both platforms. Make sure you hit that like button. It helps the channel, it helps the league. And maybe just for grins, if you're watching it over on IROC TV, why don't you jump over to HBR TV just for a moment. It's the same feed, but give us a like too. Share the wealth. Pace car lights are out, so we should get the green flag this time by. Pace car is going to duck down pit lane. Again, the exit of turn 2 is where that pit lane begins. Smith way up the racetrack, choosing the outside for the restart. He's in the throttle. Back racing for Phoenix. Brian McCann shortcuts the dog leg again. It's hard to say if it's really an advantage to go down there or not. Some guys do it, some guys don't. Nevertheless, 46 laps in, it's Aaron Smith, Jaden Hopp, Brandon Mefford, and Will Tyndall now into the 4th spot. Ahead of Brian McCann. McCann to the inside. Tyndall loose on entry. Slides up the racetrack, though. Keeps it out of the fence and out of traffic. He's going to lose the spot, I think, here to Brian McCann. McCann drops it way down once again, shortcutting that dog leg. Almost got to wonder if nothing else, is that saving fuel? Tyndall trying to go back on the attack, looks down low. Oh, he's loose, really loose. Tyndall's going to lose it out of the corner all by his lonesome. He's getting a piece of the inside wall, and the caution is out once again.
That's real quick, and then tell me what you got.
Lindsay in the stream chat says, I switched, now I can see the other comments. Yeah, it all depends on the platform. I'm lucky enough that I can watch the comments on both stream chats, both platforms, just because we're using the restream here. But yeah, sometimes if you're confused about the stream chat, jump over to the other channel. You can see what's going on if somebody else is commenting from the other platform. So William Tyndall, cause of caution number 3. Let's take a look at it. Saw it live. See the 62 of Tyndall down in the bottom lane there alongside Brian McCann. I don't think this was aero related. They weren't super close to each other, but the rear end of that 62 starts to come around as he tries to put the power down. And just like that, you're sideways. Not a whole lot you can do at this point. You can try to throttle up and hope for the best, but it just doesn't work out. He does get it to bite, thankfully. Keeps it out of the inside safer barrier, but overcorrects. And it looks like he does kiss the inside wall here just a bit, or does he get woed up in time? Kind of hits the right front and the right rear just a touch. Minimal damage, though. He should be able to get that fixed and get right back out. Vincent Short in the stream chat says, was that the banana peel that came out of McCann's car? Playing Mario Kart over here. McCann's throwing banana peels. Cody in the stream chat says, all these people miss trivia with Uncle Cody? Well, they heard it because I repeated it on the air, so I don't think they missed it completely. But with that said, we're going back racing. Pace car is down. Got to work the backstretch here and get to the restart zone in turns 3 and 4.
Green flag.
Aaron Smith didn't waste a whole lot of time. Just about as soon as he got there, he went for it. Back in the gas, back racing for Phoenix. Brendan Mefford on the inside of the 4 of Hop for the second spot. Brian McCann running 4th with Chris Wally already up into the 5th position, up 10 spots on the day. Wally finishing top 3 last week on the Super Speedway.
Caution.
And we got trouble, Matt Kopp. The 22 slow on the racetrack. Caution number 4. See what happened here to the 22. There was some contact just ahead of them. Let's back it up a little bit. I want to see what this looks like from on board the 22. Maybe he checked up, seeing the 5 and I think the 88 coming together. We'll go driver's eye here and slow it way down. Just ahead in the middle car there in the frame is the 5 to the left, the white and red and blue. It's the 88 of Jason Nilges. Those two coming together on corner exit. I don't know if cop lifted or what the situation was. Either way, he got tagged from the back. Try to get a better look at it here. Can you see the 88 dropping down low, half short cutting the dog leg here. Comes back up. He's got Tyndall to his inside. I don't think Nile just realized the 5 was as close as he was. Might have been looking at the 62. It's hard to say. But McDonald gets into the back of Cop. Sends him for a ride down into the safer barrier. He's going to make a pretty good impact here. It's not good for it. Cop was dangerously close to sliding up the racetrack in front of traffic. Luckily, Cook Quick gets by. So fourth caution of the afternoon. Cautions breed cautions, and that's what's happening here. We had our stage break at lap 35, and since then it's been yellow after yellow. With that, we're going to jump out, take another short break. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back to Phoenix Raceway here. Pace car in pit lane once again, getting ready to go back green flag racing after our fourth caution of the afternoon. Aaron Smith, Jaden Hopp, Brian McCann, Brandon Mefford, Neil Quick, the top 5. And Brian McCann disappears from the running order. Hopefully doesn't reappear in traffic. And there he is. He didn't come back in. Lucky for the 3. He was out a while. Lucky he didn't get booted from the session. Not a good way to go. Seems to be okay for now. We don't typically see connection issues for the 3. Back out front, though, Aaron Smith over Jaden Hopp. Jaden Hopp looking strong there behind the 70. challenge is on. Jaden Hopp all over the back bumper of the 70 of Aaron Smith. McCann gets a piece of the wall. You can see him sawing at it, swatting flies in the cockpit of that number 3. Lindsay in the stream chat cheering on Jaden and Aaron, P1 and P2. Been a common theme here as of late, seeing that 4 car up towards the front with Aaron Smith leading. Hopp losing a spot to William Tyndall. Tyndall in the number 62. Remember earlier, he was part of one of our cautions. He lost it trying to pass Brian McCann all by himself. Did a good job regrouping his battle back, and now he goes to the race lead here, lap 63. Tyndall still with the lead here, unable to really put a gap on the 70 of Aaron Smith at this point. Might just be a tire advantage for the 62 machine. I'm not sure when he made that pit stop. His most recent stop, though, lap 54, was fuel only for the 62. Battle for the second spot, Jaden Hopp, Aaron Smith going at it. Hopp to the outside of the 70. Jaden thinking, well, maybe I've got something for Tyndall here. I'm going to make my way around Aaron Smith, take the second spot, set my sights on the 62. Aaron thought about battling back, but not aggressively. Checks up just a bit into turn 1. $17 cars still on the lead lap. Cook Quick, the last on the lead lap, back in the 17th position. Cook gets a piece of the wall on corner exit. Pretty big piece, too. Right front damage on the 23 machine. Mike McDonald back in 18th. He's the first car 1 lap down. Could be eligible for a lucky dog if the caution were to come out, but I think the 16's actually 2 laps down at this stage of the race. Back out front, the 62 of William Tyndall starting to stretch it out here. 3/4 second advantage over Jaden Hopp. Again, tires likely making the biggest difference here, at least at the present time. I actually hear Tyndall saving some fuel middle of the corner. Let's ride on board and listen. Clutch all the way in. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call the lift and coast method. Great way to try and save a little bit of fuel. Effectively, you lift out of the throttle, push the clutch in, And you carry the car a little bit deeper into the braking zone than you normally would just because you're not on throttle quite as long. You can do this and actually maintain the same lap times as if you're not saving fuel, if you do it right. It's a skill that needs to be learned. But if you get good at it, it can certainly help you win some races. Trying on board with Aaron Smith, see if he's doing the same thing. So they get into Cook Quick here, lap traffic, the 23 up the racetrack. Yeah, Aaron Smith not saving fuel at this point. Tyndall was saving fuel and he was starting to back up to the 4 of Jaden Hopp. I think Tyndall's decided I better put the power back down because he wasn't able to run away from the 4 at all. Both Hopp and Smith closed the gap considerably during that time that the 62 was trying to save some fuel. Ryan McCann still back in P4. Brandon Mefford, car length and a half off the back bumper of the 3. Field Quick back in 6th. Again, don't count out the 2 yet. This one's far from over as we're just about halfway here from Phoenix Raceway. Tyndall across the line, lap 75 of 150 up on the board. Jaden Hopp starts to close in. We're going to take an HBR TV side-by-side break. Stay with us, folks. You won't miss a second of the action. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Phoenix Raceway, 82 laps in. Brian McCann has made a pit stop during the break. Looks like he did take fuel and 4 tires, a 14.6 second stop for the 3. He was a lap down briefly, but quickly, no, he is still 1 lap down in the 16th position. So he'd be the first car to get that lucky dog if the caution comes out, but he's going to be on some serious pace here with the fresher tires. Brian McCann's last lap at 27.85, over a second faster than race leader William Tyndall with the older set of tires on board. Aaron Smith running a 28.79. And McCann, again, a 27.82. Tyndall still trying to save some fuel as well, trying to stretch this as late and long as he can. William Tyndall still with the race lead. Aaron Smith runs in the second spot. Jaden Hopp still hot on the trails, just a car length, maybe a car length and a half off the back bumper of the 70. Brandon Mefford, though, about 7 or 8 car lengths back in the 4th spot. Rick Kelly, I said earlier he wasn't here. I lied, he's here. He's running in the 5th position. Keeping his spot ahead of Jason Nalgis in the point standings as Aaron Smith hits pit lane. Brandon Mefford's going to come on down as well. So it's Aaron Smith, Brandon Mefford, Tim Schofield, Doug Wysocki all on the pit lane at the same time. Right side tires going on for the Aaron Smith machine. To no one's surprise, I think it's about time. We're past halfway. I don't know that he's taken tires at all in this first half of this race, but he's down and away with 4 fresh feel goods. Back in the action goes Aaron Smith. Jaden Hopp from the 2nd position. He comes down for pit lane as well to get some pit work, and fresh tires likely on the 4. Again, only 2 sets of tires available over the wall here this entire season. Each race, they got a set on the car that they start with, and then 2 sets over the wall to work with. It's going to be 4 tires for Hopp. Tyndall still stays out in front, the race lead. Brian McCann hot on his trail here. This would be for the lap back for the 3. Sure, he'd rather get on by here and take that away the old-fashioned way, rather than rely on a lucky dog if the yellow were to come out. And just like that, McCann takes it back. So Brian McCann back on the lead lap here. Now Aaron Smith runs in the 8th position, 1 lap down, but again, fresh tires for the 70. Came out behind Rick Kelly. William Tyndall still out front, trying to stretch this as long as he can go here. Lap 54 was his last stop, at least for fuel. I fear that he's waiting too long, though. Again, tires so important in a place like Phoenix Raceway, especially during the day when the hot sun's beating down on this blacktop. Giving up so much lap time. Last lap for Tyndall, a 29.44. Aaron Smith, a 27.86. Cutting into that lead significantly. You talk about an undercut. But then again, if I'm the 62, I guess you just almost want to ride this thing out. It's only 5 cars in the lead lap right now. Aaron Smith being the first car 1 lap down. So if we get a caution right now, Tyndall's going to be able to make his pit stop under yellow, not lose a ton of positions. So lead lap cars will all pit together. As Smith goes around, he gets his lap back. That's going to put Jaden Hopp now in the lucky dog position. Turn 2, Tyndall stays on the racetrack again. Jaden Hopp closing in too here. He's going to get his lap back in no time soon. Then it'll be Brandon Mefford into the lucky dog position. A lot of fast guys here lap down. You got Hopp, Mefford, Quick. Wally's worked his way through the field. He's in the back of the top 10 there, but still some fast drivers here lap down, just trying to get that back through the pit cycle or just raw speed. Hopp has gotten his lap back. Next is Brandon Mefford, if he can get close enough. I think it's only a matter of time before the 62 hits pit lane here. He's getting chewed up here in a hurry by the fast cars with fresher tires. Cuts the dog leg here, lap 97. His pit stop again was at lap 54. Maybe he's trying to stretch the fuel here to make one more stop and call it a race. I'm not sure if he's got enough to do it. Still maintains the top spot over Rick Kelly. Kelly in the second position, 2 seconds back. Kelly also made his pit stop at lap 54. It was 4 tires in fuel, though, for Rick Kelly, so he's got a little bit fresher tire underneath him compared to William Tyndall. Jeff Nell up into the 3rd spot. John Osborne 4th. Brian McCann back to P5 here. McCann made his pit stop at lap 77. Tyndall still saving a ton of fuel, lifting out of the throttle, coasting through the corners. I really think he's trying to push this all the way to the end here to go one more stop. Still stays out there. He's way off pace. Tyndall at 29.14. Not terrible. As Rick Kelly actually comes down pit lane, this might be a good indication because he pitted the same lap as Tyndall did previously. So now Jeff Noe inherits the 2nd spot, but 10.7 seconds back from race leader William Tyndall. Unbelievable run the 62 is having right now. He's in a good position here. I just don't know if the benefit's going to be there as far as making it on one more stop, because your final stop is going to come right around the time that a lot of these guys that made a pit stop already are going to make their final run, because they can't make it all the way to the end. They're going to have to stop too. Unless Tyndall was just trying to save a set of tires. That could be the case as well. Ken Couch in the stream chat. Great show as always. Appreciate the kind words, Ken. And looks like Tyndall may be coming to pit lane. Indeed he is. Hope he got her woe down. It seemed like he was awful quick on pit entry. Jeff Noe's going to inherit the top spot here momentarily, or is he? No, Jeff Noe's going to come down pit lane. I think this is going to cycle Aaron Smith to the point. Lap 102. So without a doubt, right sides for sure. I can't imagine it's going to be 2 tires here. It should be 4. 4 tires and fuel for the 62 of William Tyndall. Drops the jack down and away. 14.98 second stop. Back in the fray. So he's going to be out there a little bit of a ways back, but he's going to have a lot more pace because he's kind of off cycle now with the race leaders. Aaron Smith out in front. His pit stop lap 86. Tyndall came down just now, lap 102. So there's a significant amount of lap difference between the tires in these cars. They will equalize at some point, but for now, it's Aaron Smith, Jaden Hopp, Brian McCann, your top 3. Hopp right there, a couple car lengths, maybe 1.5 off the back bumper, Aaron Smith. .46 laps to go here from Phoenix Raceway. We're going to take one more HBR TV side-by-side break. We'll get it out of the way. You won't miss a moment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Caution's out. All right, bud, you had a couple laps by yourself there. How'd it feel?
Back at Phoenix Raceway as the caution comes out. Looks like William Tyndall in trouble. Slow mover at the bottom of the racetrack, and it is indeed the number 62. Was leading here late. Was just recently made a pit stop here, lap 102, and he finds himself in trouble here. It puts us under our 5th caution of the afternoon. Let's take a look what happened here to the 62. Ooh, contact with the 12. Looks like Tyndall may have come up the racetrack a bit. The 12 making contact. Nile just barely getting by. Watch from another perspective here. The 12. Tim Schofield in the top. Yeah, Tyndall just slid up the racetrack in front of him, puts him into the wall hard. It's going to send the 12 in the path of 00, Mike Cook. Nile just gets a piece of the back bumper of the 62 as he goes on by. I think he'll rub that one out no problem. It'll buff out. Meanwhile, Chris Wally's going to inherit the top spot here. Some drivers pitting, some drivers opting not to. And we're 113 laps in here at Phoenix Raceway, so varying pit strategies underway here at the Speedway. Chris Wally, Doug Wysocki, they stay out of the track. They pit respectively laps 89 and 86. Aaron Smith made his final pit stop during this caution, lap 113, took 4 tires and fuel. So did Jaden Hopp. So did Brian McCann and Brandon Mefford and Neil Quick. Rick Kelly made a stop as well, but only 7.8 seconds. Likely no tires taken there. Larry Bruner and Mike Cook, the top 10. Bruner made his stop at 87, so he stayed out as well, it appears. So it certainly shakes things up here at Phoenix Raceway. Got a couple of guys out in front gambling a little bit. They're going to be off the pace, though. I'm going to tell you right now, they're not going to be able to hold off fresh tires on Aaron Smith, Jaden Hopp, Brian McCann, Brandon Mefford, Neil Quick. Those guys are going to be fast. Wave around cars going by the pace car, puts us on the 1 to go. So next time by, we should be green flag racing. Should see the iRacing pace car pull left here. He does. Just about to the Geico restart zone. Chris Wally, Doug Wysocki on the front row. Green flag in the air. Just like that, Aaron Smith drives it down to the inside into turn number 1. He'll have the race lead on the exit of turn number 2. Wally up the racetrack. Brian McCann there on the bottom as well. Brandon Mefford alongside Jaden Hopp down the back straightaway. We've got plenty of cars battling for this top spot in lap 117 at Phoenix Raceway. Aaron Smith, Brian McCann, now Brandon Mefford up into the P3 position. Wally sliding back a little bit here on older tires. Not much you can do. Don't have the grip. You can't stick the throttle down as hard as you want to. McCann on the back bumper once again. He was a lap down early on. So was Aaron Smith. Back to the front they both are. Smith with the lead, McCann in second, and then Brandon Mefford battling with Jaden Hopp for the third spot. Hopp down low, Mefford the 83, that black, white, and red machine up top. In behind both of them, it's the 2 of Neil Quick. Ken gets a piece of the wall on entry once again. And Ken Couch in the stream chat with a question. He says, are these Gen 4 cars or ARCA cars? Hard to tell the difference. Well, visually, they're pretty much identical. It's the same chassis, same body, but the difference is these are indeed Gen 4 cars with a whole boatload of horsepower. Real quick, drops to the inside. Jaden Hopp now up top lane. Mefford into the third position. Quick trying to take another spot from Jaden Hopp. Hopp successfully defending his position for the time being, but the later this race runs, the more likely you're going to see that bumper get used by Neil Quick. Top five have separated themselves from the rest of the field considerably, but this is the battle. Smith still out in front, quarter-second advantage over Brian McCann. Mefford third. This is the battle for fourth. You're right on board with Jaden Hopp in the fourth position. Neil Quick trying to take it away. Just a thing of beauty. The top five all together here. 26, about to be 26 laps to go. Work through turns 3 and 4 here. Back to start finish. Nobody stepping out of the line until now. Brandon Mefford taking a peek to the inside. Nothing doing on Brian McCann. Back to start finish. 25 laps to go. It's Aaron Smith, Brian McCann, Brandon Mefford, Jaden Hopp, Neil Quick, your top five. Rick Kelly in 6th. Keeping a position ahead of Jason Nile, just back in 14th. Maintaining a relatively healthy points cushion back to the 88. Still side by side for the 4 spot. Brandon Mefford now in the high lane. The number 83 works around the outside of the 4. Jaden Hopp down the back straightaway. Still 24 laps to go. This position been hot and heavy here. Contended back and forth between Mefford and Hopp. Quick was trying to attack the 4 as well for a little bit. Was able to get alongside, not able to complete the pass. Now he just lies in wait, hoping that something could happen between these two. Maybe he can pick up those positions easily. Big wiggle for Brandon Mefford out of turn number 2. Again, told you folks, it's going to be difficult for me to figure this one out. I don't know why, but this place just messes with my head as far as what corner they're in. I figure they're out of turn number 2. You would expect a straightaway there, but not the case. Or a straightaway with some grandstands for that matter. Ken Couch says, Gen 4s are a blast to drive. I should have known that's what they were. Ken, I don't know if your Sundays are taken up here in the latter stages of fall. But don't forget the No Bull Racing Series coming back off here pretty soon. They'll be running the Gen 4 car as well. Bring your friends. No Bull Racing Series also going to be covered live here on HBR TV. As we watch this battle still hot and heavy between the 4 and the 83. Laps to go. Aaron Smith still out in front, starting to stretch it out as the battle starting to wane between the 3 and the 70. William Tyndall lap down now, works his way the outside of Brian McCann. Tyndall back in the 18th spot. The drivers in pit lane, Larry Bruner being one, Chris Wally exiting. Final stops of the day for these two. They were crossing their fingers for a caution. Didn't get one. Race leaders bearing down. Brandon Mefford looks like he's completed the pass on Jaden Hopp here. Brandon Mefford's got that third position for the time being, but Jaden Hopp is certainly trying to take it back. 17 laps still to go. Plenty of time to get that done. And both drivers making their pit stop at the same time. Lap 113, taking 4 tires and fuel. Rick Kelly back in P6. He pitted lap 113 as well, but did not take tires. Tim Schofield in the 7th position. Not sure if he took tires or not. He was in pit lane for a while. Again, damage repairs needed on the number 12. John Osborne, Jeff No, and Mike Cook, the top 10. Derek Welch in the stream chat. What's going on, Derek? Thanks for checking in, man. Derek Welch runs the Numb Thumbs Racing League. You can tune in here tomorrow night to watch that broadcast live here at HBR TV. Davidson Builders Truck Series. Battle has dissipated here for P3. Really the same for second place as well, and no battle for the race lead. What was a tightly formed top 5 is starting to stretch out just a bit. Neil Quick at the backside of that top 5. Again, to take a look at the points coming into tonight. Coming to 12 laps to go here. Aaron Smith certainly not in any danger of not being in the playoffs this season. Coming into the bracket challenge starting next week. Nashville Super Speedway. The top 16 will advance. Rick Kelly, the backside, the bookend of that top 16. Running in the 6th position so far. Jason Nile just was ahead of him at some point during this race, but now runs back in the 11th spot. Needed to make up a ton of ground here to take that spot away from Rick Kelly. Not working out for him so far. Still a strong season for the 88. It's not enough to get into that transfer spot. Real quick, real loose through the dog leg, dropped it down, took the shortcut. Rear end of that race car lost a bit of grip. 35 of Larry Bruner's closing in. Bruner not on the lead lap. He's in P16. 5 laps down. Maybe some fresher rubber. Hard to say. Yeah, his last stop lap 133. So likely took tires then. We've got 10 laps to go here from Phoenix. Aaron Smith still well in command. Now 1.3 seconds back to Brian McCann. Aaron Smith trying to make it 6 wins on the season already. Only 10 races in. And I just have this gut feeling that the 4 is not done. He is not willing to just take that 4th position. He wants that podium. He wants that top 3. He wants to have a word with HBR TV post-race. I'm sure Brandon Mefford wants the same, but I think Hop's been cooling his stuff here for a while, taking care of the tires, make that late race charge to try and take that 3rd position back away from the 83 of Brandon Mefford. Mefford having a strong run. Did a great job trying to get around the 4, but hopefully he didn't burn up too much of his stuff doing it. Mefford up the racetrack. Hop still running the lower lane. Lindsay in the stream chat once again. That's my son. He never quits. Well, Lindsay, your son's got some pace out there, that's for sure. He's been a contender here just about every single race. It's been fun to watch. Big wiggle on a Hop. Cross star finish, trying to get the power down just a tick sooner than Mefford. Aaron Smith still now extending his lead again, now almost 2 seconds over Brian McCann. And even though these two are battling for the 3rd spot, it seems they're starting to close the gap on the 3. McCann starting to come back to the 83 of Mefford. Very quickly, this could be a battle not only for 3rd, but maybe 2nd place on the grid. Now just up the racetrack, not an issue there. Hop goes down to the bottom, takes a shortcut through the dog leg, tucks back in behind, still 2 car lengths off the back bumper of Mefford. Well, that's very cool. One thing that's fun about iRacing is you get the opportunity to jump in here, and once in a while, you get to race against some of your heroes, those guys being some actual NASCAR drivers. Lindsay in the stream chat says he was able to race Anthony Alfredo last week and won. Of course, Lindsay talking about Jaden Hop there, running in the 4th position. Four laps to go. Aaron Smith 2.2 seconds ahead of McCann. Laps to go here from Phoenix Raceway. Jaden Hop, every lap just inching closer and closer to Brandon Mefford. Now 2 laps to go. Aaron Smith sliding through turn number 2, down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Drive out of 4 here, look for the white flag into the dog leg. Last lap for Aaron Smith, one more time around. Put it on the pole position here today. Was as far down as a lap down here during the pit cycle, back in 16th or 17th position. Worked his way back through the pit cycle. Off turn number 2 and down the back for the final time. Aaron Smith looking to make it 6 wins on the season. Aaron Smith throttle down, start finish, checker flag. Aaron Smith wins at Phoenix. And Jaden Hop is in trouble. Gets the fence. Jaden Hopp was looking for a top 3. Finishes in the 4th position nonetheless. Let's see exactly what happened here. This was after the fact. I want to rewind it real quick. We'll catch what happened. Just giving it all he had off the final corner. Hammer down, trying to catch Mefford. Just loses it. Around it goes. Celebrating on the front stretch. Aaron Smith, another race win on the season. Aaron Smith parks it on the front stretch here. We're going to get a word with our top 3, but we're going to step aside here real quick first, get our final break out of the way. Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics, LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens, UMP Modified and Silver Crown driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Back at Phoenix Raceway, round number 10 of the IROC Challenge Series, Aaron Smith securing another race win. I think that puts us a total of 6 on the season. Let's pull Aaron Smith into the broadcast booth. Aaron, it's Steve with HBR TV. You got a copy?
Yeah, I've got you.
Aaron, congratulations, man. A thrilling performance here tonight. Put it on pole. I think you might have led the most laps, and you secure another race win on the season, man. Tell us about your race.
Well, I didn't get that many practice laps. Turned a couple hot laps in preparation for qualifying, and we were able to get the pole there and just drove away with it. And for most of the race, it was pretty fun racing up at the front. If we hadn't had that last caution, I think Jaden would have had a pretty good shot at getting me there. He was much quicker, even with the tire difference being only 1 lap. But got lucky with the way the restart shook out and brought it home.
Certainly fun to watch those last few laps of the race, watching Mefford and Hop battle for position. Jaden left it all out there, lost the car on the final corner, still finished 4th, but it wasn't for lack of trying. Well, Aaron, again, congratulations on the race win. Next week we go to Nashville Super Speedway. Of course, the first round of the bracket challenge. How do you feel about your chances at Nashville and moving into that next round?
Well, I really like Nashville, so it should be a pretty solid race. Hopefully it won't be as tiring as tonight was, because good grief, just wheeling the car the whole way through. It was a doozy tonight, but I'm looking forward to having a solid race next week.
Well, we certainly watched a lot of the in-car footage of you tonight, and yeah, you guys were certainly sawing at the wheel quite a bit every single lap, so I'm sure this one certainly took it out of you. Next week might be a little bit different, but either way, looking forward to a solid race and possibly, maybe another win out of the 70. Can we expect that?
I'm not too sure, but I'm shooting for 10. If I can get there, I can say it was a good season. It was a successful season, so we'll see how the rest of these races shake out. Hopefully I'll be able to come talk to you with a few more times here this season.
Certainly running out of room of winner stickers on the quarter panels and fenders of that number 70 machine. But Aaron, again, congratulations. Another win here in the IROC Challenge Series. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the folks at IROC for putting these races on, all the folks in the field for putting on a solid race. Had a couple cautions there at the beginning, but we cleaned it up and had a really good run to the finish. So hopefully we'll have more of those this season. We've got some great races, great tracks coming up. So if we can have races as good as tonight, it'll be a really entertaining season. So I'd like to thank you for broadcasting, all the folks for watching, all the support in the chat. It's always fun looking back and seeing all the support for all the drivers in the field, as well as myself. So looking forward to the rest of the season, I guess.
Well, with that, I want to kind of go slightly off topic. I was able to watch a little bit of a race that you ran recently. It was these same cars, but it was out at Interlagos at Brazil in another series that was being covered by Pit Stop TV. An incredible combination of race car and race track. Tell us how this car handled on the road course, especially at a place like Interlagos.
Well, I don't remember how hot they had the track, but there was no rear grip whatsoever. If you can master that, you can master just about anything on this service. So it's good to have that skill set, and hopefully I'll be able to apply for the rest of the season, not only here, but there as well.
Certainly a fun one to watch. Aaron, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week in Music City.
All right, thank you.
Aaron Smith, your race winner here tonight at Phoenix. Next, we're going to talk to Brian McCann, the bridesmaid once again. Let's see if we can pull him up in the broadcast booth. Brian, it's Steve with HBR TV. You got us? And we lost him. Well, we're going to go to Brandon Mefford next. We'll pull him up and see if we can get a chat with the driver of the number 83. Nope, there he is. Brian McCann, you with us?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, you were lost in Neverland there for a moment. Glad we got you back. Congratulations. I know you're probably getting tired of these second place finishes. You had the win last week at Talladega, but unable to really finish up the job here and go 2 in a row with Aaron Smith. What did you guys need to close in on that 70 machine and maybe take the win here at Phoenix?
Needed a better right rear tire. That or a driver, not sure. Yeah, I don't know what Aaron's doing up there, and he's got it figured out every week. I'm missing something on this car because I've tried all the different settings and whatever, but happy for second place, happy for Aaron to take the win there, and overall good race for us. I don't think there was ever any problems or anything, so yeah, good night.
Solid run for you for sure. Next week, Nashville Super Speedway, of course, the first round of the bracket challenge. How do you feel about your shot next week?
I'm not going to be good there. I can go ahead and tell you that. I'm going to be mid to backpack, so we'll have to just make that the drop week.
Well, we'll have to keep an eye out. I have a feeling the 3 might get it figured out before this one's all said and done next week. But Brian, again, congratulations on a runner-up finish here at Phoenix. Who do you want to shout out to?
Yeah, my family, you guys for doing the broadcast, the league admins for putting this show on, and big shout out to our sponsors, Spartan Transportation, R&R Racewear, and whoever else. Sorry, I can't remember them all, but yeah, man, and the drivers for showing up every week. Good racing.
All right, Brian, thanks for talking to us, man. Certainly wish you luck next week. Brian McCann, your runner-up here at Phoenix. Next, we're going to pull the driver, the number 83, up into the broadcast booth and get a word with our third-place finisher, Brandon Mefford. And we're still waiting. We're having some trouble with Discord here. A little bit of a delay getting the drivers to pop up in here. So we had the same thing happen with Brian. We'll give it just a moment for things to get caught up here. And there we go. We got Brandon in the right room now. Brandon, congratulations on a third-place finish. You with us?
Yeah, I got you, Steve.
Brandon, congratulations, man. A solid run here today. It was fun watching you battle it out with the 4 of Jaden Hop there in the closing laps. You made the pass, and they were able to defend it all the way to the checkered flag. Hop ended up sideways and into the fence on that final corner, giving it all he had, but it just wasn't enough. Why don't you talk about your race and the strategies coming into tonight and what it took to hold off a hard charge in number 4?
Coming into the night, we didn't really have any practice. Been really busy with kids and the charity race and all that. So stepped in here at practice. This track was super hot. I think it was 125 degrees when we first got in here. So knew we were going to have to just keep the car clean to have a shot. So doing that, we knew we needed to save some tires because we only had 2 extra sets. So that really put a damper on trying to race hard off the beginning. So kind of just rode around a little bit, and then we all came and got tires there with 30 to go or so, and Jaden was fast all night, and I thought his internet was going out. I hollered at him in race. I'm like, man, hold on to that internet, don't let it go now, you're way too fast. But no, man, I got on the outside there. I got a good restart and got in front of Jaden, and let me tell you, dude, he drove a great race all night. He got to my inside, but I was running that middle lane. I liked it better than the bottom lane, so I was able to just keep my momentum out there. And then the high side just has so much more momentum off the corner, and he just couldn't get by me. So really proud to race side by side with him for, I don't know how many laps that was, Steve, 10 or 15, I'd say, and had a great night. Happy to finish third behind Brian and Aaron.
Certainly a fun one to watch. You made it exciting here at HBR TV. Certainly next week we kind of look forward to more of the same, possibly Nashville Super Speedway. How do you feel about your shot next week?
Well, I like Nashville Super Speedway, but I don't know if I'm going to like it in this car or not. So the bracket challenge is going to bring something new, pretty much going head-to-head with another driver. It really don't matter where we finish. We just have to beat that guy. So got to figure out who we're racing and stay ahead of them, and hope that our strategy is correct so that we can move on to the next round.
Whole new way of scoring a champion here in the series. It's going to be a fun one to watch next week. Brandon, again, congratulations on a third-place finish here at Phoenix. A job well done. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
I really got to thank Spartan Logistics and Chris Wally for putting on a league. I think this is one of the best leagues out there. I mean, the competition's top-notch. The racers are great. Only a couple cautions a night for a couple, just some mishaps on a short track. But thank all the racers in the league. Thank you guys for the broadcast. Zoe's Place, Race for Rally, Ellie's Place, Lucky Finn, Kids Talk, all my Charity Motorsports teammates out there. And then, Steve, I want to shout out to you and everybody else that came out to support our charity race on Saturday night. Huge success. Thank you for promoting that for us a little bit. Then I like to finish off by thanking my family who's off to bed and, let me get in on here and race while they finish things up tonight and got themselves off to sleep.
Well, certainly appreciate you having us for that race. I know we initially talked about broadcasting it for you. Some issues over on our end. We weren't 100% sure, and we didn't want to bail on you. So we showed up to race anyway, and we had an okay day. Finished 12th on our end, and it was a fun race to watch across the board. And again, for a good cause. You guys raised some money for a great cause, and that's always fun to see.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks, Brandon, man. Good luck next week.
Yep, thanks, Steve.
It's Brandon Mefford, your third-place finisher here at Phoenix Raceway. That'll wrap up the interviews for tonight's race. Let's take a look at our official race results. Of course, Aaron Smith, your race winner. Brian McCann, second. Brandon Mefford was third. Jaden Hopp came home in the fourth spot. Neil Quick, fifth. Rick Kelly was sixth, secures his spot in the bracket challenge. Tim Schofield was seventh. Jeff No, eighth. John Osborne, ninth. Mike Cook was 10th. Jason Nilgis, 11th. Chris Wally finishes in the 12th spot. Doug Wysocki was 13th. 14th went to Michael McDonald. Larry Bruner was 15th. 16th finisher Matt Kopp. William Tyndall, after a lot of laps led here tonight, unfortunately finishes back in the 17th position. Trevor Quick was 18th. Cook Quick was 19th. Adam Johnson 20th. Josh Braley 21st. Josh Funkhauser, credited with 22nd, did not take the green flag here tonight. Those are your race results here from race number 10 from Phoenix, the IROC Challenge Series in the books. Got to thank all you guys for jumping into the stream chat here tonight. Certainly appreciate it each and every week. It makes my job easier, gives us a little bit more to talk about instead of just the race itself, because let's face it, it's racing. Sometimes there's lulls in the action. It doesn't have to be door handle to door handle, upside down, crashing on fire every single lap. But it really makes a difference. You guys jumping in here, tell us who you're rooting for, where you're watching from. Even Cody Dean jumping in with the NASCAR trivia about this place. It was unplanned. It was cool to see. Certainly do appreciate that participation. If you haven't already done so, check us out, youtube.com/@HBRTV1. That's where you watch the broadcast here tonight, I think. You could have been over on the IROC side as well, but help us out over at HBRTV1 as well as IROC TV. Give us both a like. Help us out there, because that does certainly get some fresh eyeballs on the stream, fresh eyeballs on the league. It's a good thing across the board. And last but not least, check out the website, hbrtv1.com. You have the ability to find the live links there, as well as some race pictures, some logos for you iRacing painters and that sort of thing. If you've got some logos that you want added to that part of the the web page for that matter, let us know in the Discord. Send it to me privately. We'll get it posted up for you guys, and we do appreciate that. So thanks everybody for watching. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV, congratulating Aaron Smith on his 6th win on the season. Thanks for watching, folks. Have a good night.